and welcome to another edition of the Scales and Tales live stream. My name is Mervly Kwai, and I'm a project manager for Dragon's Prophet. A lot of you know me in-game as GM Krolin or Krolin. It's good to have you guys with us today. So, we have a lot of things to cover. As you can see, I'm kind of flying solo today. I'm without my fabled cohort GM Coralius or Mr. Tanthor, but that's fine. We'll hold it down together. As you guys noticed, we updated this morning, and the update mostly brought about a lot of bug fixes and some changes. The most notable of those is the High Lord quests in the Frontier are now working again, or working for the first time, I should say. So perhaps you were lucky enough to participate in them this morning, or in a guild that controls the alliance, alliance that controls the island. But you know, those are a lot of fun. I was very excited when they started working last week, because it was really my first chance to participate and see them. So that's something that we're all happy about here. Another big thing that happened this morning is there were several updates, and let me go in-game here. Yep, GM Kara just kind of, he's a little bit too busy right now to come hang out with me. Pretty much due to the update this morning, but as you can see, I'm in-game. Dragon's Prophet became a little bit more festive this morning as we started introducing some of our seasonal items. You can see that cool little shield that I have on there, my gingerbread shield. I'm quite proud of it. So one of the updates that happened this morning is to the Kindred wheel. The Kindred wheel is basically, for those of you who don't know, an extension of the friends list system, where as you accumulate friendliness points with people on your friends list, they earn points for you every time they kill a creature of equal or higher level. Those points ultimately add up and allow you to earn friendship gift packs, and those have Kindred seals in them. The Kindred seals basically can be used to spin the compass, Kindred compass, and the items on the compass have remained the same since Dragon's Prophet had officially commercially launched, and we just updated it this morning. The main changes were we got rid of some of the older items and some of the less popular items in favor of new, rarer items, the most notable of which are the 2 dragon eggs that have been added to the compass, the Dragonfire Demolisher egg and the Darksteel Destroyer egg. We also added a new costume box, and this is different than the normal costume boxes in Dragon's Prophet, because when you open this one, you're guaranteed to get a piece of the set, and it won't duplicate pieces that you've already received. So the goal is to get as many of them as you can to complete the set. Now, one of the things that's been brought up by players is it's kind of hard to get the full set from spinning the Kindred Compass. So we've tossed around the idea of selling additional pieces for the Ancient Prophet costume in the Station Cash store, but for Draconic insignias. That way it allows you to, if you maybe pick up 1 or 2 pieces on the Kindred Compass, you can grab the other pieces in-game. So a lot of good changes for the Kindred wheel, in my opinion. And a lot of it's due to player feedback. So generally folks were displeased with getting the armor box or gold or whatever other items that we had on there. So we tried to at least make it so even though the items that you receive may be of the lower caliber, like the teleportation runes or the shadow doll, all of them at least have some practical use in the game, with maybe the exception of fireworks. But in my opinion, those are fun. One quick thing about the Kindred Compass, people didn't know, and I actually just discovered not too long ago, that if you click the cost amount on the bottom of the Kindred Compass, it actually randomizes the positions of the items on the wheel. That basically makes it so every time you spin the Kindred Compass, the locations of the items change. So you may have a better chance to get something based on the position. I'm not really going to give a lot of information away about that. But in general, that's something, and I've noticed it does absolutely make a difference with the items that you spin. Now there's a second tab, and this is called the Premium Spin for 250 Kindred Insignias, and it really limits the items that are on the wheel, but gives a higher percentage chance of getting only the rare items. Of course, Dragon Insignias do come up a lot, but you have a pretty good chance to get the Dragon Eggs or the costume piece here. So those 2 dragons that have been added to the compass were also added to the marketplace today. They're available here, but you can also purchase them with Dragon Insignias, and we're really excited about that because they're pretty much the first items on the marketplace that you can purchase with Dragon Insignias. And of course, Dragon Insignias are the currency that you obtain from completing daily quests, and those are the blue quests in-game. So each one costs 1,500 dragon insignias, which is basically about 2 weeks worth of dailies. But you can buy them repeatedly as well. Of course, they come with skills that are unique to those dragons. So I'll go ahead and pull them out now. This one is the Darksteel Destroyer. He's kind of cool. He's a Predator model dragon, but he has the armor equipped that matches the Darksteel armor set. Thought he was pretty cool looking. I was excited when I first saw his model because for the people who have the Darksteel armor set, that was sold in our Founders Pack originally. He matches that pretty much exactly. He's a little bit lighter colored, the silver color. The armor itself is a darker color. So then the other dragon that was put in the marketplace for insignias is the Dragonfire Demolisher, who, as you suspect, matches the other armor set that we released in the Founders Pack. Now, these are two dragons that are pretty cool, and they're unique because normally the dragons that we sell in the marketplace are ancients, but again, these are Predator dragons. I'll open it up so you can see. Both of them are 10-slot dragons. And I'm pretty sure all of them that come out of the marketplace with the dragon insignias, these two new ones, are 10 slots. So that's something to look forward to if you're looking to get a 10-slot dragon. Now we have a couple other dragons in the marketplace this morning. The popular so far, I've been kind of keeping close tabs on which is more popular, Skitterclaws or Randolph. And currently, they're very closely tied. Randolph, as you can see, Rexer over here demonstrating for us, is the new Rain Dragon, is what we've officially called it, a Rain Dragon. It's basically a reindeer dragon. It has the same facial features as Hazul, the Swirling Flame, or Shining Charger, Regal Fate Spinner, the other sorts of pony dragons. But this is quite notably a Rain Dragon with bells and tassels complete. So he's rideable. We also just noticed that he has some pretty unique mounted combat skills. He's got a dash along with some sort of a frozen burst. That's a little bit different than we're normally used to, so might want to check those out. The other dragon that's in the running for the coolest of the week is Skitterclaws. Now, a couple of you are probably familiar with our unofficial mascot, Skitter. He's classified as an ancient dragon, but really he's a swiftfoot dragon because he doesn't fly, he doesn't have a massive dragon tail wing neck thing going on, but he's classified as an ancient dragon because he's just kind of special like that. So for the holiday season, we thought it would be really funny if we kind of took Skitter and modified him a little bit. So we're fortunate enough to get Skitterclaws. Skitterclaws. See what I did there? Claws? Yeah. But he's wearing a Santa hat and is skinned appropriately for the holidays. You know, you'll notice he has a cool bow tie neck warmer and some leg warmers as well. But if you're a Skitter fan, and we found that about 33% of people love Skitter and 33% of people hate Skitter. So whether you're a Skitter fan or a Skitter hater, you know, this will at least make you smile or shake your head one way or the other. But we thought, you know, he'd be fun for the holidays, so we put him in. So one of the other things that we did this morning was we started to introduce a fair number of the seasonal items. Now, those items are available in the marketplace. When I started putting them out, people basically had questions about what other events are going to occur for the holidays. We have a very large event planned. Unfortunately, it's not just ready yet, it's in testing right now, but it's a very large event that features a unique zone. There are public events in it, a lot of quests, a lot of holiday things. One of the public events is really neat because there's a large Christmas tree and goblins are running up to it to try and steal presents from it. As the player, you kind of engage in a mini tower defense game by building snowmen that throw snowballs at the goblins that are trying to steal presents from under the tree. So it's kind of interesting because you have to strategically place where the snowmen are to best interpose the goblins that are running away with the presents, and the rewards from that are quite good as well. So that's going to be coming out. We're looking towards the end of next week for the release of the zone, and that'll be up throughout the holidays, and that will have a couple new quests and public events like I mentioned. The items have started to trickle onto the marketplace. Not all of them are there yet. So if you go to the marketplace, you'll see a new section called Fun Holiday Stuff. We have basically, for the holiday season, we have weapons for all classes. We have one-handers and two-handers. We have a shield and amulet. There are 2 types of costume hats, a full set of costume armor for both male and female. I'm currently wearing the male costume variant, and it's a little bit modified because the armor outfit itself is completely dyeable. So depending on if you have color dyes unlocked, you can change it from the red and green to a red and black or whatever you want to do. This is my Bah Humbug outfit, but those costumes will be coming to the marketplace very soon, and I think they look pretty fun this year. So we have weapons and armor, we have the shields. In addition to that, we have a lot of new furniture coming in. So you'll see these fixtures in the outside of my house here. And my house is located in Bairton Stormreach Isle, all the way in the south here. As you can see, I'm on a live server right now, so I have a couple friends here. Looks like Rexer and Fuji have decided to join me. But you're welcome to swing by as well and check out some of these Christmas holiday decorations. Oops. And they're going to be trickling onto the marketplace through the remainder of today and throughout the weekend. So I'll go ahead and head inside here. And you'll see that these are kind of typical based on the way that we've been pushing holiday items for Halloween and Turkey Day. You can see that there's a fireplace, some cool looking couches. I thought the bed was pretty neat. You know, vanity, the normal living room style sets. And then in the other side of the house over here, have a little bit more of that stuff. The trees are particularly cool, in my opinion. Pretty festive and decorated. There's a feast table, an odd housing fixture for it actually counts as a house. It's not really what I would consider a house. It's more of a small igloo for your non-combat pets or something. Maybe, you know, when Friari is bad, you can send him to the backyard and he has to stay here, but not quite sure what that is. It's also kind of unique because it snows only on top of it. That's right, it's a controlled snow. Which is good because who wants to plow the outside of your house for the Christmas event, right? The holiday event. So it's snowing specifically on top of this little outside thing. Yeah. Now you can see Rexer out here. He's turning into Karuna's servant, and he's riding Randolph with it. And this is a dragon stack. A dragon stack is definitely not something you'll see in any other game. It's when dragons stack. And it may not exactly be intended, but it's kind of funny. This is here as a skitter clause riding a skitter. Thanks, Fuji Wuji. That's brilliant. But we added in the marketplace several illusion crystals. They're festive in nature. You can turn into Skitter Claws, a treasure stealing goblin, I believe, satchel stealing goblin, and a couple other things. The most notable of which is the Karuna's servant, and that's a very large dragon. That dragon and Skitter are actually quest givers in the holiday zone, so you'll see them next week. For the last of the holiday items, we've added 2 new non-combat pets. We have Morgath's Little Helper. Now these guys are the ones that follow you around and actually loot for you in combat. They pick up all the items. They won't search creatures for you, but they will provide you with the loot that they have. It automatically is added to your inventory. This little guy's cool. He flies. So if I were to hop on Eternal Darkness here and lift off, you would see that Morgath's Little Helper is right over my shoulder and eager, ready to loot anything that I kill, because it's his job. That's what I paid for. That's what he does. So one of the other non-combat pets, companions that we added is Mooseltoe. Mooseltoe is a moose. Surprise. But he's a festive moose. Yep, and he auto-loots for you as well, and he also flies. So you might possibly be riding Randolph with a Mooseltoe in tow, and then you're absolutely qualified for to be considered festive. A couple other things we added. One of them is a gacha bundle. Now, there's been mixed responses to our Rare Dragon gacha, but it's a good way if you don't have the opportunity to catch wild dragons, or perhaps you missed out on Chaotic Terror. You have a chance to get Twilight Ocean or Shattered Rage from it. We introduced a big bundle of the rare gachas today. It has 10 in it in total, and it's deeply discounted, about 25% if you buy them in the group of 10. So the gachas have been pretty popular, I have to say. Some of the feedback that we've gotten about them is not all of the dragons that are captured in them are 10 slot, which is kind of a standard that we introduced to the marketplace. The dragon gachas exactly replicate a world capture of the dragons that you were to receive. You don't have to actually do the capture process. They're granted in an egg, but the skills that they come with and the randomness of those skills is completely generated as though you captured a wild dragon. So in the marketplace, you'll see I mentioned that there's a lot of new holiday stuff. Now, we're missing out on the costumes currently. I said I was wearing the male costume. There's also a female costume. They're full 5-piece sets. You can see here. It's a couple. I obviously can't wear it because I'm not a girl. And this costume is female only, but it's a 5-piece set. And it's a little bit more festive than the male costume, in my opinion. But that'll be on the marketplace probably later today, along with the rest of the furniture. You can see the furniture in my house. That's being added as well. If you look at the outside of my house, you'll notice that I have these starlights. Yeah, starlights. I thought it would be cool to decorate my house with lights, so I did. Each one of those starlights is an individual item, and I kind of made them hang from the sides of the house to look like it was a string of lights. But those are going to be coming out in the marketplace too. I thought they were kind of neat. I enjoy them a lot. So again, for the actual event, the holiday event, it's going to be coming out probably late next week. At the latest, it would be earlier the following week. So we're looking at probably about, let's see, I would say the 20th. So maybe next week on the live stream, I'll be able to run through the holiday event with you guys and give you a little bit more insight about that. But it's very fun. From what I've seen so far, I've enjoyed it. It's closest to Halloween, where you zoned into an area and kind of did tasks with friends. And there's goblins singing songs and all kinds of great stuff that you would expect from a Dragon's Prophet holiday event. Now, another thing that we have coming out. Now, we haven't really talked about this too much because it's not coming out until January-ish. The official release date has not been announced, but we're looking at second week in January, maybe third week, somewhere in the middle. It all depends on, if we feel that the build's ready for you guys. But this is the build that would include Olandra. Olandra is the continuation of the Alentia story arc. The level cap will be increased in this new zone release, but it doesn't follow the typical format that we have in the past, where that's 10 levels when a new zone is released. It's going to be, the new level cap will be 94, and the levels will have a bit more difficulty when it comes to the amount of experience you need to earn to gain them. The reason for this, the level cap decrease, is we found that a lot of people work really hard to get their end of a zone tier gear or their quest armor from running dungeons on hard mode. And with such an aggressive push schedule of raising the level cap, some people, don't even really get a chance to get all of the armor that they wanted from the previous zone before the new zone comes out. So by limiting the level cap to 94 instead of 100, as you probably anticipated, it allows the gear that you attained in the previous tier to still be relevant throughout the next zone release. I believe that that's a trend we're going to maintain going forward from 94 to 98. One thing that's exciting about Olandra is it's going to come with the same format of additional adventure dungeons and then also a story dungeon at the end. For Olandra, there's only 2 dungeons with the zone instead of the normal 3. But then at the end of the zone, we're introducing a new raid zone. I'm going to keep a little bit of secrecy around that until probably next week, when I can release full details about that zone. But it's going to follow the same format as Dragonheart Temple. It's a 10-person raid that has 2 levels of difficulty, 5 total bosses. And we'll take a deeper look at that once we get more access to it and can show it off. I know a lot of people have had mixed feelings about Dragonheart Temple as well, due to the difficulty level of it on hard mode. Part of the reason that the level cap is still only going to go up by 4 levels is so that you can still have fun running the previous raid zones and finding items inside that are beneficial. And of course, there's always the liquid silver that you're looking forward to in Dragonheart Temple. So, if you guys have any questions in chat, please feel free to ask. This is mostly for you guys, so it can be, about the things that I've talked about or just general questions that you have. I know one of the hot topics of debate recently have been the way draconic flutes have changed in the Sanctuary, so that the level of the Ancient no longer scales down to the level of the player if the level of the Ancient in the wild is higher. That's kind of a controversial change. We don't have, great info on why that change occurred. It mostly has to do with the fact that the ancient dragons are really the mystique of the game. They're the thing that everybody looks forward to when a new zone comes out or new content is added. Because of that, we feel that the ancients in the world need to maintain that rarity. It's kind of interesting if there's a level 50 ancient and a level 20 is running around with him. We want something for the level 20 to look forward to. The exact reasons behind the change aren't known to me at this time. But I do know that's a controversial topic because level 20s have been using draconic flutes and have been not successful in capturing some of the higher level ancients. Where's my buddy? That's a good question. You would likely be referring to Dartok or Coralius or Tanthor. They are MIA currently. I'm flying solo. I have no dragon companion today. But that's mostly because Kara is pretty busy right now and we have a lot of things going on. We're trying to bring you the holiday event, and that's really our focus. So, it's just me today. You have to suffer through my commentary. So we're also looking forward to having a good number of events coming up. We're constantly trying to innovate the events that we give to you guys. You've seen the dragon hunting capture events where I ask you to find a dragon and bring it to me in game and we reward you for it. Now, those types of events are absolutely something that we love to do, and we do them whenever we can, basically. The GMs and I have been kind of brainstorming more events that we can bring to you. We're limited in the way that we can do that, though. You'll notice that a lot of the events that I run are in the frontier area, and that's largely due to everybody on both servers being able to participate in those events. So we've tossed around ideas of trivia type type events, or just a general objective events that you guys might enjoy, and we're going to try them out, and if they're successful, we'll keep running them. If not, no harm, no foul. We'll scrap it and think of some new stuff. Yep, but we have a lot of events planned, about 3 different new types of events that we're going to start running. I see a very interesting question in chat right now, and that's a question about Green Haku. So there's been a picture that's been leaked around of some, I don't know, maybe it's a prophet, maybe it's not, flying on a very traditional looking Chinese dragon. And, I'm not really going to confirm or deny that that's from this game. It is, but that's definitely something we're probably going to see in the future. And as we have more footage of that dragon in particular, we'll let you guys see it and give more info about it. Now, for us, we're always happy with the dragons that we put out and the surprises that we can bring to you guys. It's fun for us to see your reactions, whether it's skitter hate or love for winter solstice or ferocious duality. We like seeing your reactions, so we kind of keep that stuff close to our chests until we can release it. We like to do that a couple weeks before you guys will encounter it. Yeah, I've had a lot of feedback from players about trivia events. I did one not too long ago where I basically commandeered, I believe it was Colors of Death's Dragon Sanctuary, and I kind of sat in the corner there and just shouted out questions to the Sanctuary Zone, and it's pretty much Dragon's Prophet lore questions or just game mechanic questions, nothing too difficult. Name the bosses of so-and-so area, and then I awarded points, and the person with the most points at the end of the event won an item. Won something cool. I don't even really remember what it was, but that's a good question. The question is, what was fixed about the dragon capturing in Alentia for the Alentia Dragon Knight title? Now, there had been some issues with this because people were getting the wrong titles, as you saw from some of the gacha dragons. no titles at all, or there was just general confusion around that situation. So in effort to fix that, Runewaker reset the Alencia titles. Now that kind of puts us in an interesting situation, because if you do have Recursive Nightmare or a Fionor, or any of those dragons from Alencia, it's my understanding that those achievements may not have updated again. So we're looking at it internally to see if that was exactly intended. I don't think that's the case. I've recommended that people try pulling their dragons out that they've already had to see if it regrants the achievement, but I've not seen that be successful currently. So the answer to your questions is that we're looking into it, and hopefully we'll have a good result. If there's an easy way for us to grant those achievements back to you, then we will. But right now, unfortunately, we don't have a way to do that. The answer is always Warthorn. We have a really cool thing coming out soon. For those of you who are fans of Dragonheart Temple and the Dragon Gods, we actually made a request to get these kind of miniature Dragon Gods. They're kind of for your house. You can place them, and they have voiceovers from the actual Dragon Gods in Dragonheart Temple, and future ones will have the future voices, but those should be coming soon, and hopefully I'll get to show them off. Questions from Dubrio. How do you get items for liquid silver? We ran Dragonheart Temple a bunch of times now and no liquid silver items. My suggestion to you is try running it on hard mode. And I know that's difficult, but I've seen success from raids on hard mode looting items from liquid silver. So we kind of kept the mechanics for liquid silver a secret until people started obtaining them, and it's pretty common knowledge now that the first 4 bosses in Dragonheart Temple on hard mode drop pieces of liquid silver. You have to combine all 4 of them together, and then you'll get them. Now, the pieces are exceptionally rare, and we're talking very, very rare. There's only a couple liquid silvers on the server at this point, and they have been obtained due to the diligence of those individuals who own them, repeatedly progressing through Dragonheart Temple. So liquid silver, in my opinion, is probably one of the hardest dragons in the game to get right now, as far as effort is concerned. Of course, the frontier dragons, those are exceptionally rare as well, like Naticura or Zlanter. A lot of people don't know about them, but they come as a reward for spending Warforged insignias on chests, and you rarely get a flute that rarely summons the dragon, and of course you have to land the capture after that. But those are really cool dragons. There's one that's a neon pink and blue. I believe that one's name is Sofani. Yeah, but there's about 5, 6 of them in total. Yep, I'm seeing that in general, people have to push down the Dragonheart Temple bosses on hard mode like, I would say 5 to 10 times to get a piece. And then it's only one piece, and you have to decide who in the raid is going to get it. In general, it's probably a good strategy to identify that person beforehand, and then, you know, maybe because they should get all 4 of those. You know, the way that you do your raid loot's up to you, but it would make sense, due to the rarity of the item, to try and stack them all on the same person, so you could get one instead of spreading them out. Question about Balj spawn rate. So some enhancements have been made to Balj and are in the process of still coming around. Now, Balj is just a weird creature in general because he was never intended to exist. He exists purely out of a glitch in the Matrix. He should never have been capturable, but he was, so we kind of left him there. That's why his flight animation doesn't work. That's why he doesn't cooperate a lot. But because players generally liked him and he's an absolute challenge to obtain, we've left him in the game. Now, because we did decide to leave him in the game, we're working to ensure that things like his flight animation and his skills are maintained and improved. Because obviously he's part of the game now and he should work. So, yeah, there's been multiple discussions about exactly what needs to happen with Balj to make sure his character animations are smooth and that his skills work. So it's something that we're working on. It's a request that we get a lot of the time. Yes, the items are soulbound, I think asking. Yeah, Balj is definitely an odd creature. It's weird, though, because, you know, Dragon's Prophet, when we're looking at the game and we're getting ready to launch it and show off new dragons, internally, we always pick what we think the best dragons are going to be. Like, someone will see Ferocious Duality and go, wow, that's going to be an amazing dragon, everybody's going to love it. No one internally predicted that Skitter, or Balj, would be the heroes of Dragon's Prophet. Balj, the most coveted dragon for a long time before Wintertide. And Skitter, just with his oddity. And, you know, you players are the ones who decide that, and we kind of take it and run with it. You know, Skitter became an icon, so he Skitter bombed some of the Super Metal videos, or is in the end of them, and he just became a thing, and now we have Skitter Claws. That's the evolution, right? Okay, a couple things about secret apartments. Now, the main thing about secret apartments is you guys will remember, those of you who have them, that about a month ago they were quite broken. Meaning that you couldn't zone into them and had very limited flexibility while you're in them. We have since fixed that to a degree, and we promised that we would grant you a compensation package for your time spent with having a disabled secret apartment. Now, any of you during that time, we were happy to refund you or exchange your purchase for the secret apartment because it wasn't working as intended, and we weren't really proud of that. So some of you opted to have it refunded. But what we're going to do is grant, within the next week, a secret apartment compensation pack. There's a Balj. Hi, Balj. We're going to grant a secret apartment compensation pack. Now, it's going to have housing items in it primarily. The compensation pack is going to have a house that has never been released. It's pretty unique. It's going to have one of these really cool Arion dragon statues like I have in my front yard here. It's pretty much no other way to get that at this point. And then there's also going to be one of the larger fountains in the pack, like this one back here. So those of you who had suffered through the secret apartment problems will find that compensation pack in your mail, likely the middle of next week. It'll come from me. So back to the original question. Sorry, Pug. Question is, he owned the secret apartment, was informed that you could move the apartment, change islands, and result secret apartment is gone. Is this intended? Now, if you abandon or change your secret apartment, it shouldn't disappear entirely. If that's the case, please submit a ticket to CS and we'll look into it. The secret apartment should stay with you as far as the blueprint goes, but the placement of your items, if you move to a different item, you're likely going to have to replace all of those items. However, they will stay in your inventory. The question is, what about people who had secret apartments, got frustrated with it, and then either opted for one of our resolution methods, being we'll grant you a land plot, or maybe you just suffered through it and got a land plot yourself, or got refunded for it. We're basically granting it to every single person who experienced the issue, regardless of what your current status with your secret apartment is. It's just kind of like a make good on the situation from us to you, because obviously, you know, a secret apartment, I believe, was just about 1,000 station cash, and it didn't work for a good 5 weeks. So that's our bad, and we want to show you that we're sorry for it. So we're going to send that pack out. Yes, the way that we're identifying people who qualify for it is we basically can run a check to see who was unable to use their secret apartment for the date range at which it was affected. And then once we have that list, it's about, I would say, close to 800,000 people. I'm going to grant all of those compensation packs to you guys. Can I nerf Final? You know, that's going to be hard. I'm kind of intimidated by them a little bit. Have you ever seen, you know, those guys in the Frontier? Yeah. I don't know. I suggest you guys get together and combat them. Yep. Take their citadels from them. Now that they can do their High Lord quests, you should totally go up and steal their citadels from them. That sounds like a good tweet, Bob. So, I just wanted to recap again, guys. We have the holiday items that are coming into the marketplace. Not all of them are there currently. Several new dragons, including Skitter Claws flying sideways on a Balj. Absolutely intended. That's probably the best use of both of those dragons I've ever seen. And it's definitely festive. So, multiple dragons. We do have the new dragons in the marketplace that are sold for dragon insignias. That would be the Dragonfire Demolisher and Darksteel Destroyer. We updated the Kindred wheel this morning. I've seen some good results and people actually getting dragons from it this morning. So I encourage you to check that out and explore that mechanic if you're unfamiliar with it. And then, of course, various bug fixes. So we're likely going to be updating again next week. And there should be the holiday event coming in. That's the main focus of the next week's update. And we'll likely talk on Friday. I'll stream again. Hopefully GM Kara will show up with me, and we'll have a good time with you guys. So that's pretty much it for this week. If you guys have any other questions, we're happy to hear your feedback on the forums about the items that we put up, and then, just general questions. Always feel free to direct them to me. I'm pretty responsive through in-game mail and through Tell. If I get overwhelmed, that's usually, the downfall of my responses, but I always try and follow up with you. So thank you guys for playing Dragon's Prophet. I hope you have a good week and enjoy the holiday items and the zone to come. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.